Now at 6, Carthage High School hosts a gathering of hundreds for a student council conference. Plus, what Missourians should know about changes in the voting process this year. And students at Rocky Comfort Elementary put their green thumbs to use for a greenhouse project.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities in St. Louis arrest 2 more men in connection with an Independence, Kansas homicide. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. U.S. Marshals and the St. Louis County Police Department have arrested 21-year-old Joshua Denton and 18-year-old Kavion Williams, both of St. Louis. Both men face charges of first-degree murder and aggravated robbery. They are the 4th and 5th suspects in the October shooting death of Jason York in Independence, Kansas. Investigators believe York was killed during an armed robbery. The other 3 suspects in the case were arrested last month. They are 37-year-old Kevin Quinn, 20-year-old Aquin Quinn, and 23-year-old Kevin Martin, all of St. Louis. They also face charges of first-degree murder and aggravated robbery. Nice weather out there heading into the weekend. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney.
Well, after some rain that we got a couple days ago, we're seeing temperatures about average, maybe a little bit above today's highs, about 63, 64 degrees, and our low only 50. It's going to continue to cool down though, our low tonight getting down to the lower 40s, but still temperatures across the area are sitting in the low 60s, and that's going to keep that trend, maybe get a little bit cooler. We also have some pretty low humidity values, around 40% and lower, and anything lower than about 35% is more on the extreme fire risk side of things because we have a lot of dry fuels in the area. We don't have any kind of rain for the next several days, but these drought conditions are getting better since we've had a lot of rain the last couple of weeks. But we have more rain chances midweek next week, and I'll have all those details for you up next.
See you soon. Election season looks a little different in Missouri this year. KOAM Samantha Walker explains what voters need to know about the upcoming Democratic primary.
3 weeks after the Missouri Republican caucus, Democratic voters in Missouri will have the chance to cast their votes for a presidential nominee. Individual parties were left to host their own process for nominating a candidate after Missouri representatives failed to implement the presidential preference primary voters are used to.
Missouri Democratic Party opted to instead hold a presidential primary like we normally would. We did a mail-in ballot form and we're doing an in-person one. The mail-in ballot time has passed. The in-person is on the 23rd of this month though, March 23rd.
According to the Jasper County Clerk, the Democratic presidential primary will follow a similar process to the typical primary election voters may know.
They have ballots that they printed themselves. You'll be able to vote and then they will count the ballots.
But because this is a party-organized event, voters can expect to see some changes.
But you don't actually have to be in the county you're registered to vote in. So if you live in like Jasper County and you're just in Newton County for the day, you can go and vote at the Newton County Courthouse, which is where their primary is being held, because it's party ran.
To participate, you have to be a registered Missouri voter, not be a registered Republican, and have a form of an ID. Organizers say it is important to participate even if you think a nominee is already certain.
It just looks good on a national scale to see a bunch of people turning out. It makes Missouri a little more relevant.
Reporting in Jasper County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
You can find more information about this year's election season on our website, koamnewsnow.com/elections. 120 schools and about 1,000 students and advisors have gathered at Carthage High School for this year's Missouri Student Council Conference. The convention features nationally recognized speakers, a vendor fair, and a service project where participants created the blankets for Children's Mercy KC and journals for Children's Haven.
I want them to make memories. I want them to be my age and to remember that we did this. I want the students from the other schools to go home and again, when they're my age, I want them to remember coming to Student Council State, even if it's not at my high school that we hosted it at.
This marks only the second time Carthage has hosted the event. The only other time was back in 1977. Students at Rocky Comfort Elementary are in the process of planting 10,000 seedlings. This is part of the school's annual greenhouse project. Over the next few weeks, the students will be responsible for the care of those plants, those 10,000 plants. The plants will then be showcased at the school's annual plant sale.
It's a great day where we can just get everything done at once. We order in 10,000 plants, and it takes a long time to plant 10,000 plants, but if we gear up for just one day, then everybody just works hard and works quick, and they do such an amazing job planting.
Proceeds from that annual plant sale, they go to various school improvement projects. Some folks in Baxter Springs, Kansas turned out today for a community cleanup. Volunteers took advantage of the nice weather to pick up trash along the highway north of town. For volunteers and Baxter Springs residents, the day was a real labor of love.
Honestly, there are a number of groups throughout the community who care deeply, and it was not difficult at all to contact several groups, and they are all on board and saying, yes, I want to be there.
Bagcraft donated trash bags and gloves for the event, and a city crew collected the bags to take to the dump. Pittsburgh Community Theater's production of Biloxi Blues is set to hit the stage at Memorial Auditorium in 1 week. The show was written by Neil Simon and premiered on Broadway in the mid-1980s. It follows a group of young soldiers making their way through basic training during World War II. Biloxi Blues is a comedy, but according to director Faith Peone, it also tackles hard-hitting issues that are still relevant today.
It's still a play that is appropriate for our times. Absolutely. And it hits on a lot of subjects, a lot of things that we're still dealing with.
These men were really entering into a time in their lives of fear, and anger was all over the world, and he deals with that, and he shows you how they overcame their fear and rise to the level of bravery that they needed to have to go into war.
Biloxi Blues opens March 22nd and runs through March 24th. You can find ticket information at KOAMnewsnow.com and catch KOAM News on Sunday for an in-depth look behind the scenes with KOAM's Anthony Saviello. Anthony is one of the performers in Biloxi Blues. It's a big day on the diamond for some area softball teams. John's going to have details on a pair of double headers coming up later in sports. But first, Missouri's Attorney General calls for stricter punishments for teens in juvenile custody following the death of a 14-year-old. Missouri's Attorney General is renewing his call for stricter punishments for teens in juvenile custody. This comes after fights that left one teenager dead and another in critical condition. Diamond Palmer has more.
It is clear that we're in crisis.
Thursday, James Clark, the vice president of the Division of Public Safety at the Urban League in St. Louis, held a Common Crisis, Common Ground planning luncheon. Clark gathered dozens of pastors and a network of 75 resource providers for the event, asking them to create programming for young people. It took a new tone in light of this week's youth violence. Clark addressed the ongoing problem of youth violence, including this week's Hazelwood fight that left 16-year-old Kaylee Gain in critical condition, and fights that led to the stabbing death of a Jennings 14-year-old named Justin Brooks.
The biggest cause that we have in the St. Louis metropolitan area right now is for us to focus on the conditions in our neighborhoods and the behavior of our young people.
Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey also making his concerns heard with youth violence, specifically addressing the 15-year-old girl in juvenile custody for the Hazelwood fight.
The attacker continues to bludgeon the victim's head against the hard pavement even after the attacker has rendered the victim incapable of fighting back and had opportunity to disengage from the fight.
This week, we learned there will likely be a court hearing within the next few weeks to decide if the juvenile will be tried as an adult.
There is no discretion here. The court has to hold a certification hearing. When you have teens who should know better, who do know better, and they're committing adult crimes, there needs to be adult punishment.
St. Louis County Police are still looking for those responsible for the stabbing death of that 14-year-old. A little bit later, the Lions and the Gorillas met up on the diamond today. John's going to have highlights from this rivalry matchup and more coming up in sports.
And after we had some storms pass through earlier this week, we've got a nice break of sunny skies, but we do have rain chances in the forecast, and I'll have all those details for you after the break. Well, it was warmer today, but we did have a nice northerly breeze, so it brought those temperatures down to feel a little bit cooler than they are. You can see the winds are still blowing, but clouds are clearing out. We do have some clouds in the southern counties. If you take a look, it's Cornell Complex Arts and Entertainment Center. It's really nice out there today, but like I said, we do still have some clouds in those southern counties. Now, we don't have any rain in the forecast all the way until midweek next week, and we can thank this cutoff low out in California and Arizona. It's just sitting there, and it's going to keep rotating out there for the next several days. It's cut off from the overflow of the upper levels, so it's not going to be moving anytime soon. It's going to be bringing us a lot of nicer temperatures, still pretty cool, but sunny skies, not much clouds. Tonight, temperatures drop down to about 43, 44 for our overnight low. We're going to take a closer look and see what this system kind of looks like at the upper levels. So you can see it's just going to be spinning there off on the coast, and we have a secondary low sitting up in Canada, and it's going to be making its way off to New York because it's not cut off from the upper level flow. So you can see it start to shift off, and there it goes. And this low is still just sitting there because, like I said, it is cut off from the entire flow. And until that decides to join back up, it's not going to move anywhere anytime soon. It does start to connect back to that upper level flow by Wednesday, giving us some late showers Wednesday night and for the rest of the week. Now, temperatures were pretty nice yesterday, 76. We did have those thunderstorms, and it brought us down a bit, down to about 64 for our high today, and those temperatures are going to keep dropping. By noon tomorrow, it'll be about 60. Clouds do increase, but it's not going to be totally overcast. It's still going to be chillier, but by Saturday, about 67 and sunny, so pretty nice. But Sunday, dropping those temperatures down to about 10 degrees. And clouds do roll in. So we've got a nice weekend ahead. We'll be cooler on Sunday for your St. Patrick's Day. I hope everyone enjoys their day and has a good time. But our overnight low for St. Patrick's Day is going to be about 31. So it's going to be pretty cool. If you plan on going out, you might want to dress warmer. Temperatures by Monday, 52. Start warming up Tuesday, 68, Wednesday, 65. And like I said, Wednesday night we'll have those showers roll in pretty late, and then we've got rain chances all the way through the next week. Thursday, showers and thunderstorm chances. Friday, Saturday, mostly just scattered showers, and then Sunday, Monday, pretty consistent rainfall throughout the day. So that cutoff low starts to make its way into our area, and then it's just going to give us a whole bunch of rain next week.
Yeah, spring in the 4 states for you. But boy, the weekend looks really nice.
It does.
Thanks. Still ahead, Pitt State women's basketball begins its NCAA tournament run tonight, and the Gorillas and Lions meet the first time this season on the baseball diamond. John Dale is going to have highlights from that game and more. It's up next.
Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State baseball both have hit the ground running to begin the 2024 season. Each of them entered today with a 7-game winning streak, and this afternoon the MIAA rivals meet in Pittsburgh. Pitt State baseball at home and opening up a 3-game set against 9th-ranked Missouri Southern. Pitchers duel early on. Gorilla starter Tanner Leslie strikes out Will Doherty in the first, then he gets Wyatt Morgan looking in the second, then Drew Davis goes down looking in the third, but Lions starter Cole Gaiman just as locked in. Blake Mosley caught looking. Cade Clemens goes down swinging. Then, check this out, he freezes Dagan Brady in the third. 4th inning is where this one breaks open. 2 runners on, Ethan Clark singles up the middle. That puts the Lions on the board. Later in the inning, Nate Miskowski singles to left, and it's 2-0 Lions. Still top 4, Chayton Beck singles into right center. Miskowski scores, and it's 4-0 Southern. Adding insult to injury, Drew Townsend bounces this one to first. Ball gets away. He's going to slide in safely and bring in another run. A 5-run 4th inning is the difference maker. The Lions take down Pitt State 6-1 for their 8th win in a row. Over to college softball. After splitting a doubleheader with Augustana yesterday, Missouri Southern has 2 more games today. The Lions win the first 3-1 over St. Cloud State. Second game not yet finished. They're in the 7th inning, but Southern holds a 4-1 lead over the number 22 team in the country, Concordia St. Paul. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh State softball also plays a doubleheader at home in the MIAA and SIC crossover. 13th ranked Gorillas play Winona State twice. They win game 1 5-4, and in game 2, the Gorillas are tied with Winona State 4 apiece in the 6th inning. If PSU can finish the job, it would be its 16th consecutive victory, and it would bring the Gorillas' record to 26-2. We'll have highlights from it tonight at 9 and 10. Now switching gears to college hoops, Pitt State women's basketball, fresh off an MIAA tournament championship, plays in the NCAA tournament tonight. The Gorillas face Harding in the opening round. That game being played in Bethany, Oklahoma, scheduled to tip off at 7:30. Bisons have just 5 losses in the season, and KOAM sports reporter Brock Baldridge is at the game. He's got you covered for in-game coverage on Twitter and Facebook. We'll have the highlights tonight at 9 and 10. Now over on the JUCO level, NEO men's basketball plays in the regional semifinal tonight against Murray State. Golden Norsemen 2-0 against the Aggies in the regular season. This one tips off at 8, and I'll update you on that final score later tonight. And in the NFL, Rams defensive end Aaron Donald, widely considered the best defensive player in the league. Well, he announces his retirement today on social media. In his 10-year NFL career, Donald was an 8-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, and he was selected to the Pro Bowl all 10 times, all 10 seasons. He's also a 1-time Super Bowl champion. Back to basketball, though. Big night for Pitt State tonight. Big weekend for Pitt State basketball. Tonight, the women play in the first round. Tomorrow, the men play in the first round.
Yeah, it's a big time for college basketball in general, and it's going to ramp up as the month goes on.
That it will.
We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. We're going to have more on students in McDonald County planting those 10,000 seedlings in their school greenhouse. They're going to care for them, raise them, and sell them. Plus, the Kansas State House approves a bill that would ban gender-affirming care for minors, and why health officials are concerned about a rise in the number of teens using products containing Delta-8 THC. Those stories, a lot more, of course. It's all coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on our sister station, Fox 14. The weather looking really nice today, and we have some more nice days ahead of us, Lindsay.
Oh yeah, we've got pretty sunny skies all the way until Wednesday. Showers roll in late Wednesday, and then we'll have rain chances for the rest of the week and into the weekend.
Yeah, and we have St. Patrick's Day coming up on Sunday. I think there'll be some people partying perhaps tomorrow night. Final sports note.
Yeah, well, Pitt State women's basketball enters the night with a whole lot of momentum. They're coming off that MIAA tournament championship, and they're playing Harding tonight at 7:30, so we're going to be excited to see how that one goes down.
See if they can keep the ball rolling. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.